Okay, so now you got a band. You got about a half dozen songs. What do you do with them? Let's talk about that.
What's up, everybody? Matt here, Music Scene, Ohio. You are watching A Weekly Riff with Chris Adams. Check it out.
Hello, and welcome to another week of the Weekly Riff. You got a band. You got a half dozen or more songs. Now what do you do? Yeah, you can do a couple different things. One, and I recommend you do them both. One, you go out and you get yourself a bunch of gigs. Set yourself up some shows. Play out, play live. Get a following. The only way you can really get a following is to get out there and get on a stage. Share your stuff on social media as well. But, getting the stuff for social media, though, requires the other thing that you could do. Record. There's plenty of affordable ways to record your material at home. You need to know what you're doing to make it sound professional, but that's not difficult to learn. And much of it is pretty much self-automated. It does it pretty much on its own. Good stuff. The theme song that you hear at the beginning and the end of every one of these episodes was recorded that way. Matt, Will, and I basically came up with that on the fly and just jammed it while recording practice one day, and using some knowledge that I gained by watching videos on YouTube about mixing and engineering. Did a little bit of compression work on it and some EQ work to make it sound like it sounds now. That's one way to do it, and it really didn't cost me much to get the gear to be able to do that. Mics and an interface, and the interface came with a version of some recording software known as Digital Audio Workstation, DAW for short. But there are free DAWs on the internet that you can get. Audacity being one of them. It works fine. I use it for some things myself. Audacity is not my primary DAW, but I use it for finalizing and converting my raw tracks into MP3s to make it easier to distribute. And I only do that because I'm too cheap to buy the plug-in for Studio One. But I also use Audacity for other things as well. If somebody sends me an MP3 of what they're working on and asking me to lay tracks on it or whatever, I'll use Audacity to do that with so that I can send it back. Just simple stuff. And again, there are resources on on YouTube that you can go look to see how all that's done. I'm not going to explain it all because I'm not an expert at doing that. I muddle through. I might muddle through it, but in the end, it doesn't sound all that bad. I mean, it doesn't sound professional, but it doesn't sound terrible either, I don't think. You be the judge. So anyway, with all that being said, let's talk about gigging. A couple episodes back, I talked about working for the door. If you can, try to avoid doing that because you get taken advantage of by some venues. They take a cut of the door before they pay you. So keep that in mind. But with that being said, there is a good possibility that you're going to be doing a few shows for a little or no money at all. That's something else to keep in mind as well. Once you get established in the scene, club owners start hearing your name, and because club owners talk to each other, they all do. You'll start getting better opportunities to make at least gas money. And don't ever think that you're going to be a rock star right out of the gate, because you need to earn that. It takes a while to build that up. Band names that you hear in the scene have been at it for a while, and they've built up a fan base, they've built up a reputation, and that's where the hard work comes from. Another thing that I believe you should do, and I've said this before, if you want to be in the scene, you have to be seen. And what that means is, if you want to be noticed in the local scene that you're in, you have to be a supporter of that scene. In other words, you have to go out to the bars, you have to go out and support your friends, make friends, because that will come back to you. I said in last week's episode that the music industry is based on relationships, and that's what I'm talking about. You have to build relationships with other musicians in order to get the support that you want. And stay humble. Nobody likes working with an ass. And nobody likes sharing a stage with someone or band that is arrogant. I'm not saying that you shouldn't think well of yourself or carry yourself well, but don't be arrogant about it. Stay humble and be respectful of others. Be respectful of your bandmates, of other bands, of your audience, because if you're an opening act, that audience isn't there to see you. They're there to see the headliner. And when it comes to the audience, be respectful. Don't disparage them. Don't turn them off. If they don't like you, they're going to let you know. And rehearse your set. Don't go onto a stage looking like a rank amateur. You might be, but don't go on the stage looking like it. Look like you know what you're doing. Don't look at your guitar neck. Don't look at your shoes. Interact with the audience. That will get you the respect that you want, the support that you want as a performer. Essentially, I'm saying fake it till you make it. In rehearsal, practice that interaction that you're going to do with your audience or the audience. You feed off of their reaction. They feed off of your entertainment. You have to practice that. For some people, that comes naturally. For others, it doesn't. I'm certainly not one. That's something I have to work on, and I know that. I remember the first time I had to go on a stage in front of a large crowd. Now, granted, I was not the in the band as a performer. I was road crew. I remember how I felt. I couldn't imagine how the guys in the band felt. If you like what you just saw, please click the like, subscribe button. Share it with friends. That would help me out greatly. Another way to help me is to click on the link in the description for my Patreon. Appreciate it. Thank you. Have a good day.